From garden to the fridge, perfectly good vegetables often end up in the bin. It's simply because they don't look perfect.
Today, we're talking to vegetable sellers who see it firsthand and someone who have solutions.
To start our journey, let us introduce ourselves. My name is Keisha Zahwa Abrori.
My name is Ananda Aulia Putri.
My name is Nadia Agustina.
My name is Ridiana Salsabila.
My name is Daniel Valentino. So that our final project for in this subject.
Hope you like and enjoy the video.
Dalam penjualan tertentu, kira-kira ada sayuran yang nggak laku karena tampilannya mungkin kurang menarik?
Enggak, kalau sayur kan memang setiap hari harus diproses, harus di apa itu dibersihkan ulang, ditata ulang gitu. Apalagi kalau musim-musim hujan kayak gini, itu harus ekstra tenaga ya.
Ekstra tenaga.
Kalau menurut Ibu, kualitas nutrisi sayur yang kurang menarik sama kualitas sayur yang segar itu sama atau beda? Apa gimana?
Kalau dari segi kualitas itu sebenarnya dari kita caranya ya. Kalau misalkan cara pengemasan, cara memilih barang yang dari pasar, gitu ya. Kalau misalkan kita berani beli dari pasar harga mahal, itu pasti barangnya bagus. Terus kita rawat, kita apa itu kan di blogger itu kan biar dari biasa itu masih itu tetap bagus gitu. Selain itu kan kalau misalkan dipilah-pilah kan, kalau misalkan ini yang nggak layak itu dijual, ya dibuat misalkan kayak sayur packing shop gitu, iya. Kalau misalkan kriteria itu sayur yang bagus itu kan karena saya ini ambilnya dari Kota Batu, jadi kan kemarinnya itu pagi gini terus dijualkan sore, jadi fresh terus itu langsung dari petani. Ya, dan saya tidak pernah mendatangkan sayur ini dari jauh-jauh, tidak pernah. Semuanya langsung fresh dari pagi.
Terus kalau ada sayur yang nggak laku, biasanya Ibu akan dibuang atau di?
Ya direspon aja, nanti terserah. Kalau orang mau ngambil ya dikasih aja. Kalau sudah nggak layak untuk diambil, ya dibuang aja. Biasanya kan buat makan itu lah, makan ternak itu.
Oh, berarti dikasih ke
Orang-orang yang siapa yang mau, siapa yang ngambil, silakan.
So the first question is, what is your view on the phenomenon of vegetable waste being thrown away simply because it looks unmarketable?
Okay, I think this problem has become a daily recurrence not only in Indonesia but other countries too. And I don't blame the person or any people when doing this, because when we look at waste, whether it is plastic or whether it is vegetable, fruits, whatever it is that, when it's not emitting some foul odor to us, it may be look some kind of uninteresting. So I don't blame any person for this, and I think it's a problem that we should start to take a look and start change not only from the behavior, but we also have to find some innovation and solution to it.
How significant is the impact of vegetable waste on the environment and society, especially farmers?
Okay, I think it's very abundant when we specifically talking about waste, especially to the farmers, because when we take an example, let's say we have a lot of plastic waste, then the main target will become to the industry. And then when we take a look about the vegetable or fruit waste, then the main target will be those farmers. And then I think it's something that we cannot pinpoint to. Rather than we pinpoint to the waste, we should focus on rather how do we process that waste into something more useful.
Okay, Kak, the next question is, in your opinion, what will happen if vegetable waste that is still edible but unmarketable were processed into food ingredients?
I think that's a wonderful idea. When we take a look at this recent innovation, especially in Indonesia, we have this program called PKM, or maybe in English, roughly translated to Students Creativity Program. There are a lot of ideas where they produce some kind of product, an edible product, which comes from a waste. For example, I think yesterday there was a team that make an innovation. Basically, they make like an energy bar that was made from banana peel and also some ubi. Now, I think that's a wonderful idea, not only because we basically make this a circular economy, but we also process waste that, of course, will decrease those total waste and also will add more value to this kind of waste.
Okay, the next question is, in your opinion, how does household vegetable waste play a role in Indonesia compared to industrial or market waste?
I think when we talk about recently, it may not have the full potential that some kind of other countries have. However, we can start to take a look at the potential. For example, one of my research or one of the topic that I'm very interested with is the process of salad skin for its nanophenolic compound. Now, not only does nanophenolic compound is very much needed in the world of pharmacy or food and beverage, but it also comes with a hefty price. So this can also be a new business side for Indonesia farmers or Indonesian government when we can process waste as our main income.
Okay, the next question is, what are effective ways to raise awareness among students and the public about sorting and processing vegetable waste rather than simply throwing it away?
Okay, so I think there are two main reasons or two main answers for this. The first one is by actually correlating our students, maybe from college, to actual innovation that we can give to the people. Like I mentioned earlier, the student creativity program, we actually sell this product not only to the same students but also also to the people around us. Now, the second one, I think we can also focus more on the industry. Recently, companies like Dove and Lifebuoy, they have been mainly focused on processing waste that can basically they're adaptive to their product. Now, some of that consists of basically using recycled plastic. Not only this will reduce the plastic, but also this will educate people that by using waste itself, it will also contribute to our environment in Indonesia.
Okay, that's so nice of you to answer all of our question. Thank you for your participation in our final project. So, thank you so much.
From the interviews, we can conclude that vegetables in less than good condition can still be utilized in various forms. Such vegetables are indeed a consequence often faced by vendors who continue distributing them at lower price. Moreover, vegetable waste can also be used as an appropriate technology innovation, serving as an alternative method for managing vegetable waste. From the interviews with the vendor confirmed that vegetable waste is a daily issue ending up as a low-value animal feed. Addressing our problem statement, bioprocess engineering offers a bioconversion solution for upcycling. Instead of disposal, we can process vegetable scraps into high-value products like probiotics via fermentation, aligning with our senior student creativity program or PKM vision. This innovation not only reduces waste but also creates a significant opportunity for further development through the student creativity program or PKM, effectively turning organic waste into sustainable economic potential. So, the first vegetable waste holds a numerous potential. The futuristic innovation vision stemming from this project focuses on three main pillars. First, the necessity of designing an effective integrated sorting system with vendors. Second, we propose a small-scale probiotic fermentation pilot project to convert specific waste into functional health products. And third, utilizing the leftover pulp for the development of prebiotics or dietary fiber with high economic value, representing a significant leap beyond more animal feed. So every vegetable scrap is a hidden opportunity. Let's apply bioprocessing science to create a sustainable cycle from the market floor to functional products. So maybe that's all from us. Thank you for your attention, and we hope you can wisely manage your vegetable waste.